Well, hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation. My name's Thomas, and I'm joined by...
Paul.
And we're watching Colony in Space. I mean, it's had some good moments, this. Overall, I don't think it's been the most engaging story for us, has it?
Not really.
It's a good design because it does look quite alien. Not much motion
Yeah,
to the
it's very
face, but it's kind of, yeah, you can kind of get on board with that. And the fact that the door glows is just a nice detail.
Yeah, that is quite nice. Ooh. Oh yeah, we talked about that artwork before, didn't we?
Yeah, I like the idea of aliens they've kind of given them a culture and art and stuff.
Thomas, do you remember in the Capaldi era that this guy played Rassilon
Yes.
in the final episode of season? Yeah, that's the actor there. He's been in quite a few Doctor Who. Donald Sumpter.
Cool.
Sumpter coming from the Latin sum, and pter coming from pterodactyl.
The start of pterodactyl. You love that, don't you? It's not that it comes from pterodactyl, it's because
It's
pater clearly means something to do with flying or the air, so therefore it's used in both. Helico, pater. Well, thanks for you to bring to the family at breakfast tomorrow.
absolutely. You know how they say in some, yeah, you know how they say in like some films, what makes this scene really intense is the lack of music.
Yeah.
That is not the case here.
Well, that was a good punch, to be fair.
They get the brutality of the hits. That was a pretty good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're slightly out of sync today. There's like a 5-second
Yeah, that
gap.
needed. I have detected this. Maybe we'll stop after this.
Hi, Paul.
Best I can do, I'm afraid. That equipment's pretty ropey.
Hi, Thomas.
Yeah, that was like 5 seconds, unless you deliberately waited a while.
I didn't. What's the delay?
We're both Time Lords. We're both renegades. We could be masters of the galaxy.
No. Absolute power is evil.
Consider carefully, Doctor. I'm offering you a half share in the universe.
Wow. The temptation.
Real tempter, isn't he?
Yeah.
From the Latin
The words
tem.
That's quite nice and eerie, actually, watching them all kind of fool around, but none of the aliens are panicking. They're just sort of walking around and struggling to stay upright. Yeah, this is nice. This is good action.
I thought the dialogue between the Master and the Doctor in that scene before was really good. That's probably been a highlight
Yeah.
in an otherwise slightly lackluster story.
Yeah, the whole... You could have half the universe.
You could use it for good, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I love how someone was saying they forgot that the TARDIS is meant to kind of fade a few times before disappearing for this story, so they just make it suddenly go... It's a little bit too abrupt, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Doctor, come back at once.
Ah, nice. Yeah, it's a time machine, isn't it?
Come on out, Doctor.
I love how the brig thinks he's called him back straight away.
That's a nice touch.
That was a short trip. You'll never get that thing working properly. Oh, you were right about that report, I'm afraid. It wasn't the master after all.
He's talking as if we'd never been away.
As far as he's concerned, we haven't. The TARDIS returned to Earth just a few seconds after it left.
What are you two talking about?
Don't try and explain, Joe. He'd never understand.
Oh, very nice. Oh, good. Yeah, nice. So a lot of good stuff in that.
I think that was probably the strongest episode of the story, to be honest. It's not a story I think I'll be sad to leave behind, or one I would feel need to revisit at any point, particularly soon or before I die.
Right.
But there was lots of good stuff in it. I think, the real standout is this, like we said about Roger Delgado, I think in the last episode, you give him almost anything to say and he'd be engaging and interesting. But he is given some good stuff here, those bits with the Doctor about using the weapon together. We could rule together and have a share in it, in those things. Reminds me a little bit of School Reunion.
Okay.
Where there's the God code, isn't there? Thing that if they crack it, and Anthony Head's character, the headmaster, kind of says, "No, you could have this Doctor. You could put the Time Lords back and all these kind of things." Some similarities there. I wonder whether it was kind of based on something like this.
Is it Krillitane, that species? Or?
Yeah, the Krillitane. Yeah, that's it.
That's interesting. Yeah, the idea of offering the Doctor, immense power or dominion, and the Doctor, you see the Doctor kind of consider it, but he's like, well, Pertwee says there, doesn't he? Absolute power is evil, and I guess his point is that no one could be no sort of creature could be trusted to wield absolute power.
Yeah.
Well, and he doesn't trust himself to be able to wield that power correctly, which is quite interesting.
And there's a similar one with the Master as well, and like Missy as the Master at the end of season 10 when she offers the Doctor the Cybermen army. So there's again parallels later on there. Again, in that case, it is the Master again, isn't it? So that's interesting there. And yeah, I mean, just as the story, wrapping off the story there. Some nice stunt work again, another gunfight, some good explosions. We had that bit of the guys fighting in the mud, even though it wasn't quite as dramatic as maybe it could have been.
The PVA glue.
Yeah, they're doing their best to get something out of it. And then I like the bit at the end, just having the Brigadier there, having only returned only a few seconds. The idea of the Brigadier kind of saying, "Come back," and they come back, and him saying, "Oh, you'll never get that working," and I quite like that.
Yes. Yeah. That was a nice touch because, I feel like they don't always do that in Doctor Who, or as much as they could. Like often in the modern era, you get the sense that when the companion goes away, they're kind of going away in real time, and the Doctor brings them back. However long they've been travelling. So if they've been with the Doctor for a year or something, they're returned to their family a year later or so. Whereas he could just return them, presumably, seconds after they left. Maybe it's a decision the Doctor makes so that they don't just get whiplash by suddenly being plunged back into life as it was. But I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's true. Often there's that sense, isn't there, of maybe like a family member saying that the companion has been travelling or something. But where are you travelling? You won't say, and all this kind of stuff, the idea that they're away for a while rather than just dumped back or returning like the next day or very soon. So you don't see a huge amount of that, but it's pretty good. But
there are 3 questions in any given Doctor Who story: when, where, and who.
Who knows? Well, we should probably wrap that up. Now, we've actually only got one more story left of the season, 5 episodes. Wow. It's a 5-parter. So we should already start to say to people, you want to start sending in your things for the review of this season. Not that we've done the review of season 7 yet, but definitely get your comments, questions in for the review of season 8 as we head through this. You can chuck them in the comments below. If it's a question for the season review, make that clear. Or you can post them in the Discord server. If you want to join our Discord server, there's a link in the description. It's absolutely free. You can just come and chat about Doctor Who there. I'm sure we'll get a season 8 thread up and running at some point for people to drop their comments and questions in. But until then, we'll see you. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you next time.
All the best.